Hi everyone, my name is Alex Hecht, and for the next 6 days, I'd like to discuss 6 unique mitzvot. And they're unique mitzvot because, unlike other mitzvot in the Torah, they apply at all times, in all places, and to all people. Most mitzvot apply either in certain scenarios or at certain times. For example, on the 15th of Tishrei, so there's a mitzvah to sit in the sukkah. On the 15th of Nisan, there's a mitzvah to eat matzah. And if a person did a mitzvah at a time that it wasn't commanded, so it wouldn't really be of any value. If I eat matzah in the fall and I sit in the sukkah in the spring, so I'm not accomplishing anything because the mitzvah only applies at a certain type of year. Other mitzvot only apply in certain situations. For example, if I encounter a lost object, so under the right circumstances, I'm required to announce it and seek out its owner. But that only applies if I happen to chance upon that situation. However, there are 6 mitzvot in the Torah that apply at all times, that I constantly have to observe. And the first of those 6 is the mitzvah of belief in Hashem. Belief that there's a God, and that there's a God who controls history and is involved in the workings of the world. And this is learned from the verse, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am the Lord your God, Asher Otzisicha me'eretz Mitzrayim, who has brought you out from the land of Egypt. And we see in this verse that there are 2 parts. There is the establishment of the belief in God, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am the Lord your God, and the fact that God is involved in history, that he took us out of Egypt. And both parts of these are essential to that mitzvah. But a question can be asked, is how can the Torah mandate belief? Seemingly, belief is a fact that I know, and if I know the fact, then I follow accordingly. And if I don't, as much as I'm commanded to believe it, if I don't believe in it, so there's not much I can do. So this is a question that was addressed by many of our thinkers, and some did actually say that true, it's if I know it to be true, then I've accomplished the mitzvah. And if I don't, so then clearly it's impossible for me to fulfill the mitzvah. However, there's an approach by Don Isaac Abarbanel, a 15th century Spanish rabbi, and he gives us more of a practical directive of how we can fulfill this mitzvah. He says, true, the Torah can't command belief, but it can command us to search out for the truth. That we live on this world, and it's our job not to just coast through life, but we have to think about, why are we here? How did the world come about? So Abarbanel says that if a person takes those steps to try to find out the truth, to try to establish belief in God and ascertain that that's the truth, that endeavor is the practical action that the Torah requires that we take to fulfill this mitzvah. And I think this tells us a very important lesson, is that questions are legitimate. Not only are they legitimate, but we're supposed to ask the questions and we're supposed to search for answers. But at the same time, we're not supposed to take things for granted. We have to realize that we're here for a purpose, and we have to find out the purpose, and that's a practical way through investigation and through inquiry. That's a practical way that we can fulfill the mitzvah of belief in Hashem.